Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is another video where instead of supporting fast fashion, I make a dupe myself, and I'm going to show you guys how to make a dupe as well. Obviously, that's the title of the video. Crochet is obviously very in. It has been for a little bit and it is still going strong, which we love over here. And these market bags, I guess, these crochet granny square bags and purses have been popping up everywhere. Shein alone has like 8 different versions of this kind of bag, and so I decided to make one myself, document the process, and make this little tutorial for you guys. So if you like crochet tutorials, please give this video a thumbs up. It tells me to keep making these tutorials, and if you just like making things in general, then subscribe to the channel. Every single person has been so supportive so far, and I really appreciate, oh my god, I can't talk. I really appreciate you guys a lot. It makes me excited to keep making things and sharing that with the internet. So thank you everybody who has been subscribing, and that's it. That's my whole intro. I'm trying so hard to make them shorter, so without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. I think I have my colors picked out. The good news is I've been on a no-buy for yarn for like 3 months, and this is literally all I have left in terms of scrap yarn, which kind of looks like a lot, but it's really not. The bad news is I have so little left that I'm worried I'm gonna not have enough to make enough of the same patch. But anyway, so I'm gonna make 3 different colors and then outline them in this color. This is gonna be like my neutral, and I think that's the plan. I'm gonna show how to make one granny square, and then I will make the rest off camera in all my different colors. But these are the 3 I'm going to show you with, and then this is the border color. I'm using a 5.25 millimeter crochet hook, a pair of scissors, 3 colors, and then a neutral border color. So the way I'm making my granny squares for the bag is that I'm going to use the lightest color for the center. So I like to do mine with a center made by a magic circle, and you can avoid the magic circle, but I promise guys, if you just sit down and practice it, it will make your pieces better, and it won't be as confusing. I'll leave another tutorial down below, but what I do is I hold the short end of the tail, I wrap it over the top of my fingers around the back and cross over the top in the front, put the hook under the lowest yarn and pull the top yarn like so, twist the hook, and then from the working yarn, so the long side, pull the working yarn through that loop you made, and then I pull it really tight, and then I'm gonna chain 1 like loosely normal. So that's the magic circle. Then into the magic circle, I'm gonna do 16 double crochets. So yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. And I'm gonna do 16 into the circle, and then I will come back and move on to the next step. So this is what 16 double crochets into the magic circle look like, and then taking the little tail, I'm just gonna pull, and that closes it up nice and tight. And then I make it kind of loose on the hook, and then go in and slip stitch to join, just like so, and then chain 1, pull tight to knot, cut, and pull through. And that is our center. So this, when I go and weave in my edges, I can pull it tighter. And then when you weave it in, it doesn't unravel, but you'll probably see it unravel throughout the tutorial. Don't worry about that, whatever. Okay, for my next color, I'm gonna use the red. And this is the petal step because it's kind of a flower. They're not really flowers, but it's kind of a flower. So everyone does this differently, but I like to take a random section, pull through with the new color, and actually tie it on. Just pull it nice and tight. And I just like to do it that way. I feel like the granny squares are really secure. So then go back into the same spot, pull up a loop, chain 3. And now we're going to bubble. So yarn over, through that stitch, pull up a loop and pull it tall. And then repeat 4 times, for a total of 4 rather. So that's 1, 2, pulling nice and tall, 3, 4, then pull through all 4, yarn over, slip stitch, just like that. So then after the first bubble, you're just gonna go right into the next stitch by yarning over, pull up a loop, pull it nice and tall, 2, 3, 4, pull through all the stitches and chain 1. And then repeat that all the way around, making sure it equals 16 times. So this slip stitch here is a stitch. So make sure you don't skip from here to here, and your total should be 16 of these little petals. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those all the way around, and then I will meet you right after the last petal. Okay, so I just finished my 16th and I pulled through and I chained 1, so it looks like that. And you can see here that circle is like stretching open. Again, that's not a problem. When you pull that string at any time, it'll just close right up. But from here, what I want to do is grab into the top at that first chain we did and pull through both. So slip stitch to join. Okay, this does not want to cooperate. Pull through and slip stitch to join, and then chain 1, pull super tight, cut, and pull through. And it should look like this. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my third color, and then just like the last round, I'm gonna go and join anywhere. And it's important to note, we're going between these clusters. Between the clusters, not really into any of these stitches. Between the clusters, I'm just gonna go, pull the yarn through, and tie it on, put the hook in, pull up a loop, and chain 3 again. So from here, we're gonna do triple crochets and gather them on the hook and then pull through. So what I mean by that is we're gonna yarn over once, yarn over twice, go through between the bunches, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, and stop. Then I'm gonna yarn over twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. So now I have 3 loops. So I'm gonna do that 4 times or until I have 5 loops on the hook. So that's 3, and this is my 4th. Pulling through 2, pull through 2. So now I have 5 loops on my hook, and I'm gonna pull through all 5 of those loops, chain 1, chain 2, just like that. And then I'm just gonna repeat into the gaps of each bunch. I just pulled through all the loops on the last one here, but instead of chaining 2, I'm only gonna chain 1. And then after chaining 1, I'm just gonna go in here, slip stitch to join, like so, and then chain 1, pull tight, cut, and pull all the way through. Okay, so this is what it looks like so far, and then last but not least, we just have to add a border. So take your neutral color, same as we've been doing, just pick a random spot, pull through and tie on. Okay, so in a lot of granny square patterns, they tell you to start in the corner. However, I don't like to start in the corners for some reason. I just don't like the way it all joins together. So this is how I do it. So you're gonna put the hook in and pull up a loop. From here, yarn over, pull up another loop, and pull through all 3 for a half double crochet. And do that 2 more times. So pull up a loop, pull through all 3, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through all 3. So that's 3 half double crochets. Then, without chaining any, I'm just gonna yarn over, go into the next space, and do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. After the 3 double crochets, I'm yarning over twice and putting 3 triple crochets, so that's pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, yarn over twice, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, and then 3 times. Okay, then I'm gonna chain 1 and repeat 3 triple crochets. So yarning over twice, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2. Beautiful. So that's the corner. 3 triple crochets, 1 chain, 3 triple crochets. So from here, I'm gonna go in reverse of the pattern we just did. So I'm gonna do 3 double crochets into the next space. 1, 2, 3. And then 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3. And then build back up. So 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3. And then we're gonna repeat the corner. And then you're just gonna repeat that pattern until you get back to your first half double crochet. And I'm gonna go all the way around continuing the pattern until I get back here, and then I'll just show you how we finish off the square. Alrighty, so you'll notice I pre-trimmed, but I just finished my last double crochet. So from here, I'm just going to go into those half doubles, slip stitch to join, chain 1 and pull through. And pull through nice and tight. And there we are, our cute little granny square. Again, when I tighten this and take a needle and weave in the ends, it'll stay nice and closed. But other than that, there we are. And I've already made a few in my other colors, so this is what they look like. Cute, fun. So in total, I'm gonna need 19 granny squares. So I hope you guys like B-roll of me sitting in aesthetic places making these. So I am finally done with all of my little granny squares. They're cute, they're colorful, they're fun, and there we go, voila. So before we go seaming everything up, which I'll obviously go through tile by tile and show you how I seam those together, I have the daunting task of weaving in all these ends, which we all know is the absolute worst part. So I'm gonna put on some TV like I always do, sit down and try to pound out the weaving in of the ends, and then I will come right back for construction. Okay, I finished all my beautiful squares. I weaved in the edges, everything's looking great. So now we're gonna seam up the bag, and then we do the detailing, and then that's it. So I actually like this visible seam look. I think it adds a little dimension. I don't know, I just like the look of it better. So what I did was I did them right sides together, but I'll show you in a second. Okay, so I'm doing my panels 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side. 2 to hold the sides. I'm doing it in like a box shape, and 3 as the bottom. And I'm gonna start by doing the seams this way and then doing the seam this way to join. So I have my neutral yarn and I have my 2 squares, and because I want the seam to show on the nice side, I'm putting my wrong side, so my sides with my ends weaved in, I'm putting them on the inside together. I'm gonna seam up the side, so that when I open it, the seam is on the side with the pretty faces. So to seam up the sides, all I did was I started at the chain between the 2 sets of 3 on the corners. So I carefully picked up both top loops. The chain's gonna be a little tight, so you gotta manipulate it a bit. So just the top loops on both sides at the chain. Just like that. Okay. So then I'm pairing everything up, and I'm gonna end at the same place on the other side. So taking the neutral yarn, I'm just going to slip it through, pull up a loop, and chain 1. And then I like to tuck this in between, but you can always do that after. And then at each pair of loops, I'm picking up both on each side for the stitches, and I'm single crocheting. Picking up the whole stitch on both sides and single crocheting. And I'm gonna repeat that all the way across, and everything should match up perfectly because both sides should have the same exact stitch pattern. Okay, and then at that chain, again on the other side, picking up both loops, single crochet, and then I'm just chaining one, pulling it nice and tight, cutting the yarn and pulling through. So when you open it, you can see the seam. And again, that's just my preference. I like the way it looks for this bag, but if you don't want to see the seam and you want it to look like this, then you would put your nice sides together and seam on this side, so when you open it, you can't see the seam. Okay, so then from here, I'm gonna repeat the process, ugly sides together for the third one, go corner to corner, and when I open it, it will be 3 across, just like this. So these are what the front and back panel will look like, and then for the sides, I'm gonna go ahead and do these two, and these two I will seam together here because I want to do defining seams on the sides, so these panels aren't just connected all the way across. So I'm gonna seam these together this way compared to this way. All right, are we following? So these together this way, and I'm gonna seam these together this way for the other side. And then I'm gonna seam these together for the base the same way these, left to right. So the up and downs first. We are so close to being done. Okay, let's check it out. Now I'm gonna take these two and add that horizontal seam. So ugly sides together, same thing all the way across, and I'll tie off, tie off at the end, so then when we open, it's one panel, and then I will repeat that with these two as well to create one panel, and then come back then. They are looking so cute. I'm loving. I love the seams facing out. I think it makes it just, I don't know, a little more modern and fun. I'm gonna go ahead and weave in these ends super quick on the back side, obviously. So yeah, I'm gonna weave in those ends and then we will start assembling the rest of the bag. I want the edges, like the corners of the bag, to be done last so that they are the most prominent. So what I'm gonna do now is put these to the side. I'm going to take the bottom panel, I'm gonna go and lay them like this, and seam from here all the way across to here, and then do the opposite on the other side. Does that make sense? Here it is. You can tell I did a repeat row. I don't know why, I actually just kind of decided I liked it that way, and it's on the bottom. So the bag will sit like this. Okay, so panel, bottom, panel, all done. And when it folds up, it's kind of hard to see, but it will sit like this, kind of, obviously not, but that will be the shape of it. So now I'm gonna seam the sides together by going down across the bottom and up the other side. And then after that, we can start the detailing on the handle on the top. Here she is. She's looking cute, fun, flirty. We love her. So now we want to add like a little bit of a border and a handle. So I'm grabbing my neutral yarn and I'm gonna start on the side. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up a loop and I'm actually gonna tie it to make sure it's nice and secure. And then I'm gonna do one row of single crochet all the way around the top until I get back to where I started. And this is just to make sure that I give a nice base before my half double crochets, and especially before starting the handle. I've made it all the way around with a nice single crochet row. So now I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the last row. I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and then go all the way around with half double crochet. So yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3. And I'm gonna do 1 row all the way around, slip stitch to join, chain 1, turn, and do 1 row the other way. So 2 rows total of half double crochet, and then I will come back and it should be time to start the handles. Okay, so I lied. I ended up doing 3 rows of the half double crochet, not 2 rows, and now it is time to start the straps. So I'm using 2 stitch markers, and let me show you how to do it. So if you're a perfectionist, I would recommend counting stitches. However, I'm feeling lazy. So I'm gonna go based off of the seam, and then at the seam, I'm gonna move over 3 stitches. So counting this one, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in a stitch marker like that, and then the opposite on this side. Well, the same. 1, 2, 3, stitch marker. Okay, just like that. So this is where I'm gonna put my handle. So I am going to finish this row, chain 1, turn, and I'm gonna half double crochet all the way across until I get to the stitch marker, and I will meet you there. I am at the stitch marker. I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna place a half double crochet into that stitch. Okay, and then from here, I'm gonna chain, and I try to chain loosely so that I can go over a little easier with the next row. But I'm gonna chain however long I want the handle to be from this stitch marker to this stitch marker. So I'm gonna go do that off camera so that I can count the stitches and let you know how many I personally end up doing. Okay, so I ended up doing 57, which sounds like a random number, but it doesn't have to be even. I like to just hold it and put it on my shoulder and see if I like where it hangs, so that's what I did. So I did 57 chains, and then you wanna make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, so then to join, I like to do it in a full half double crochet. So I yarn over, let me double check that's the right stitch. Go through the top of the stitch, pull up a loop, and pull through all 3. Some people like to slip stitch. I don't know why, I just like doing it this way, so that's what I do. And then just keep half double crocheting until we get to our next handle. And I'm just gonna literally take the same 2 stitch markers and do the same exact process. So nice. Okay, so I'm gonna half double crochet all the way around, repeat 57 chains, half double crochet into this stitch, and then come to here. And then when I chain 1 and turn, that's when I will come back and show you how to do the second row. Okay, so I just got to the other side. I slip stitched to join and I chained 1. So now I am turning the back, and you can see I have my 2 straps. Looking cute. Okay. So now I'm literally gonna half double crochet all the way across, and all the way over the strap. So when I get here, I'm gonna make sure to pick up 2 loops. So I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about, but for now I'm gonna half double crochet from here to here, and I'll see you right there. Here we are at the strap. So I'm gonna go ahead and half double crochet into this base stitch, like so. And then the only thing here that's maybe not completely self-explanatory, I guess, is that when I yarn over to half double crochet, I'm picking up the top 2 loops of the chain. So on the bottom should be the 3rd loop, the top 2, and I'm just pulling up a loop, pulling through all 3. And that's it. So I'm gonna go all the way up and around, and up and around and around.
Now it's time to bring it around town. Bring it around town.
And then when I get back to the other side, right here, I will check in with you guys and see where we're going from there. Okay guys, we are so close to being done. This is what it looks like with one, oh, it's a little wrinkly, with one pass of half double crochets. And you can see it very nicely sculpts out this handle. I just slipped and chained 1 to turn. And I'm actually gonna go back one more time all the way across with half double crochet. This time it'll be much easier. I hate the first, oh my god, don't look at my nails. I hate the first row off of a foundation chain, but this next row will be much easier. And then I think that will be it. I will just do one more row of half double crochet all the way around until the other side, tie off, and that will be it. And next time, the next clip you see will just be some final looks, and I hope you guys liked the video. If you make a bag, tag me on Instagram. But let's take a look at the final bag.